Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today because we're going to talk about Russia having bank runs and bank panic over there. And this is going to spread to the EU. Is it going to spread to us? And a lot of stuff to kick off the new year I want to talk to you guys about. It's beautiful. It's windy. Just wanted to get away from the beach because it was super windy over there. But before I do, please take a second. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And let's get into it, guys. Russia right now, with the war with Ukraine, the citizenry of Russia is having a real hard time dealing with normal banking issues with the ATMs and with their pensions. They're concerned that the pensions in Russia are not going to be funded right now and that the banking system is going to collapse right now. And we're hearing very little of this. Rosie, you're going this way. Rosie's out for a walk with me. We're hearing very little of this, but it's starting to come across Reddit. It's starting to come across Twitter, and you're starting to see these long lines at the bank, which doesn't make sense. Why would they close the banks down all of a sudden like this? There's no reason for that. So it's a concern. It's happening. And, the average person wants to believe that their money is in the bank. And we're seeing all these horrific things happen globally. And a great article out of the EU is, hey, is the worst yet to come when it comes to the economy in 2023. And personally, I subscribe to that theory. And the theory is that things are going to get much worse before they get better. But you're seeing problems that are escalating in Germany, problems in China, problems in Japan, problems in the EU, problems in the UK. It's just happening all over the place. And the Russian banking problem is going to escalate. It really is. And you're going to see this get to be a much bigger problem. But, they want to get to a digital currency here that they can track us all on. And I'll talk about that later on in the week. But that's what's coming, guys. You're going to see everything. You're going to see everything that you know as far as money go upside down. I don't think that they're going to call gold in. All these predictions that we had, I didn't want to get to the hocus pocus, scary stuff that people were predicting and get crazy with this stuff. And people say, it's not crazy, it's real, Dan. But when someone has a bank run, there's a reason for that. And you can sit there and say, oh, it's Russia's fault because they're in this war. Whatever, guys, okay? You don't want to have that here. Think about this. If 1% of the people went to their bank right now and tried to pull out their cash, it would be upside down. The reverse repo, the money that the banks lend each other overnight to appear to have liquidity, is completely upside down. It is an absolute mess, and the banks do not have the money that you think. When you go deposit your paycheck or it gets put in or you put $100 in the bank, that money's gone right away. So same thing's happening in Russia. Same thing's happening with the pensions. I am telling you, people, you're going to see pensions go upside down here. You're going to see people go bankrupt and companies go bankrupt. One of the major predictions that came out over and over again with those top fives is that two banks are going to merge. And people in the banking industry that have sent me insider stuff, all talk about how, one of the big four banks, which is Wells Fargo, B of A, Chase, and Citibank, are in trouble. And then you look at the investment banks like Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan to start with, and they're completely upside down. And then you look at the fintech companies and those smaller banks, and they're a mess too. So, it's too much, guys, right now. It really is. So I think that this is going to happen more and more. I think you're going to see more and more problems that are going to start to get escalated. And we don't hear this on the news, guys. You will never hear this on the news. You'll hear it on places like this. You'll hear it on Reddit. And you'll hear it in other places like that. It's incredibly windy out here, so hopefully the sound's good. One thing that people have written me a lot about was Lisa's, if you didn't believe in one charity, what's a charity that you do believe in? She believed in an organization called Breast Cancer Angels. They're fantastic. There will be a link in the video description below if you'd like to donate money, they donate money to women with breast cancer that are struggling. They get them gift cards, they get them gas cards, they do things to help them, and they are absolutely fabulous, and Lisa loved them. Take a look at Breast Cancer Angels, guys. One thing I love about this channel is that we talk about something and you guys inundate me with stories. The first thing is the Tesla charging nonsense. People that own EV cars that cannot use them in the snow. Why is that, guys? Why is that? Okay, well, let's start with the first one. Xavier and Alice Stevenson, brother and sister, they decided to rent a car. And Hertz was like, hey, this is a great car. Rent it. It's going to be amazing. You know, save money, no gas. You know, hurry up and you know, get to your destination. All that shenanigans. They live in Orlando, Florida, and wanted to drive to Wichita, Kansas for a family event. Great. Sounds good, doesn't it? Only problem was they would have to stop 6 times a day to charge the car because the charge wouldn't take a proper charge in the cold weather. Huh? Who told us that? Okay, so every time they sat down and charged the car, they couldn't get a full charge, and it would cost them $25 to $35. So they spent more money on the charge than on getting gas, guys. So, is that in the manual? Anyways, it's not. And then there's Dominic Noddy. Dominic Noddy is a radio personality out of Hot 94 in Virginia. Now, I don't know what station he's at, but I just made that part up. Anyways, he's a radio personality, which I don't know why they needed to put that in the ad. I don't know what Dominic and Alice do for a living. I have no clue. But Dominic from Hot 94, wherever he's at, he wants to sue Tesla because he missed his family event because he couldn't get his car above 40% and it wouldn't take a charge. Who in their right mind would buy one of these cars? And you think that this is going to revolutionize the world? You guys are sniffing glue right now if you think that, because these things are an absolute mess. They don't work in cold weather. Okay, well, we're going to get the bugs worked out. Okay, you know, people used to say that Elon Musk was a modern day P.T. Barnum, and I called him that a couple times too. But come on, Rosie, let's go this way. You want to go this way? Okay. Anyways, these poor cars, these cars that these poor people rented and own that don't work in bad weather. What's the point of this, guys? Who wants this? So, you know, I had my ex-wife had a Ford Explorer, big SUV that she used to haul tile around and stuff. And when it would get really hot, the car would not work. Okay. Now, I'm talking when she would go to the desert, 122 degree weather, the car would not run. It would give this heat warning and the car would not start. Okay, that's one thing. But to sit there and just not to be able to charge, or everybody that writes me talks about going up hills and not being able to maintain a charge and not being able to have these cars in such a way that they can last, you know, and get challenged in any way. Isn't that weird? So what's the point of having something that you can't use on a regular basis out there? And think about this. These people went from Orlando. It's not cold in Orlando, guys. And they got to the point that they would have to keep charging the car. Oh, the car had a defect. Oh, the car is going to have an issue. They should have taken it in. They clearly didn't know what they were doing. All of that nonsense. And these cars are more expensive than operating a manual car, a regular combustible car, a manual car. Remember, horse and buggy, guys. The Amish have it all figured out. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. Have you experienced this with the EV cars? Have you experienced this nightmare that these people have experienced? Because I think it's horrible. And, you know, everybody's trying to get someplace, and it's always the important time. One thing that's funny is I'm going to Vegas this week to CES, and we're going to see we're going to stop at different charging stations just to film them for kicks, okay? Because I really don't drink much and I don't do drugs, so this will get me off and get me excited to see these people waiting in line and interview them and watch them get pissed off. It'll be fun, okay, for the whole family. Okay, so share share your thoughts on that one. But think about this, the time wasted sitting there. I always get a kick out of that. You know, what's your time worth? I have a brother, okay, good guy. He's incredibly frugal, the most frugal guy, and loves to go to Costco and Sam's Club to buy gas. And I think it's a waste of time to save a few pennies and wait in that line, okay? He's probably watching this right now going, no, it's not, it's worth it, okay? Anyways, share your thoughts, guys, on all this stuff. Just a quick video for you guys today, but one more thing. Real Clear Science that people send me different stories from, they talked about, hey, how did the EV cars handle the Arctic blast? Which is right up the alley of this. They didn't. Think about this. In 2018, there were 400,000 EV cars in the United States. Now there's 1.7 million cars, and the majority of them did not do well in the cold weather. It's that simple. Read the article below. I love stuff like that, man. It's everybody talked about lower battery life, lower power. You can't have this when it gets cold, because you know what's going to happen next year? It's going to get cold again, and winter just started. Remember that. Final thing is Southwest Airlines, you know, canceled flights and all these problems. And then you hear about Katie Danko. Katie Danko was a bride-to-be who was going to get married in Belize, flying her first flight through Southwest, and guess what? They canceled the flight. So much so that when, you know, she hit the crossover flight, she got stuck and spent New Year's Eve alone. I mean, God, there's going to be so many stories like this and so many lawsuits that will come out of this. And, you know, think about this. We had days where 3,000 flights were canceled, and almost 2,900 of them would have been Southwest. So the CEO of the company, you know, that imbecile, he looks like just a deer in the headlights right now. So if anybody flew Southwest, if anybody flew this year and had a good experience, hey, I got my luggage, everything went good, and I drank a lot in the flight, let us know, okay? Because I just think the majority of the people had nothing but headaches this holiday season. So please don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know what you guys want to hear. Also, when it comes to New Year's resolutions, guys, nobody wants to be told to do this, but start planning. Make a plan, guys. If you want to use this arbitrary date of January 1st, which I think everybody should, use it as just a launch pad. But man, just start with something simple. Start with 5 things you're going to get done this week. Put them on a Post-it note. Put them someplace that you will see, you know, in front of the coffee maker, where you shave, where you get up in the morning, where you pick up your keys, and see if those things get done. And I'm telling you, it will inspire you to get more things done. It really will. Set a 1 week goal, 1 month goal, 3 month goal, 6 month and year goals. And, you know, you'll see the stuff will happen. Reflect on 2022. Be happy with the good things that you got done. But man, oh man, make 2023 better for everybody. You can do this. There is no reason not to. And, you know, we're going to see some horrific things in the economy this year. And this does not mean me being Mr. Gloom and Doom, but one thing that I have studied more than I'd say, you know, so many other people, is that people make a fortune during economic downturns. And one thing I've learned is if you can do something 18 minutes a day, basically, you know, if you want to learn to cook and you study it 18 minutes a day, you want to learn self-defense and you do it 18 minutes a day, people become better than, you know, the average, the top 5% of the people that do it on an average. Okay, it's the rule of 100 is what it's called. And I'm paraphrasing this and making it very simple, but set goals. Do what you want to do. If you want to learn protection, you want to learn investing, educate yourself on all this stuff, guys. It's fascinating. You know, one thing I did a few years ago, wanted to cook better. I love cooking for a group of people, and I'm good at it now, okay? So, chicks, guns, fire trucks, and cooking, okay? Onward and upward, guys. I will see you very soon. Reach out. Hello at iAllegedly if you want to get a hold of me. And also, Lisa's, if you want to support the cancer charity that Lisa believed in, it was called Breast Cancer Angels. The link will be below. You can take a look at that.